So I've been wanting to make this video for a little while now. It comes to my attention pretty often that one of my most watched videos on this channel is not anything I've played. It's an unboxing. An unboxing of what my butt plants itself on every day. Let's talk about it. So this video has reached this many views by the time of this recording that I'm doing right now, and it still kind of boggles my mind that this is one of my most viewed videos. So let me see if I can take advantage of that. This is an updated review of the TAMA first chair. Now I've been using this thing now for, I guess, 2 years. I got it for myself for Christmas a couple of years back, and because I needed a drum throne, I was using a PDP cheapo throne. Ironically, I'm now using PDP drums, and they're amazing, but I was using a bad PDP throne. It was good for the time. It was good for me being a beginner and just needing an upgrade from the bar stool I was using. But it was well timed to get rid of that PDP. So I got this, and the video happened, the unboxing video happened, and it blew up, or for my channel at least. So I want to talk to you now about what I have come to discover about the throne. What are the good things? What are the bad things? Let's start with the good things. Number one, this thing has held up. I feel solid sitting down on this thing every single day. I never really have any major back issues. I never feel unsteady or like I'm gonna fall off unless I'm literally like moving around too much. Doesn't really squeak all that much unless you kind of like twist around, and even then, as soon as you hear that, you can tighten down the wing nut and you're good. Still feels solid. The feet are still holding up really well. I just throw this thing into my gig bag, take it places, pull it out, throw it down. This is one of the last things that goes in there. And I mean, I couldn't be happier with this thing. It has held up very, very well. Number two, when you lock it in place, it stays in place. I have never had to adjust the height of this thing. I have set it and I forget it. Wait. So this thing has stayed in one spot for the past 2 years, and I have never had to readjust it. It's not a thought in my mind, and that is my favorite thing about this throne. I set it up and it's done. I never have to move it. I never have to think about it. It just works. Which is exactly what you want in something like a drum throne. It's like a hi-hat stand. I don't want to set it up and be constantly thinking about it during the gig, thinking maybe I should have set it up this way or tuned it a certain way. You can't tune a chair, but whatever. This thing has been rock solid each time. Number three is that it's still comfy to this day. When you get cheap drum thrones, the padding is typically very soft at the beginning. It's always super soft then, and it gets hard over time because you're going straight through the padding and you're hitting whatever the wooden or metal base is. This thing was semi-hard at the beginning, like it was a little bit tough to sit on for like a couple days. But once you break it in and sit down, it is extremely soft and extremely comfortable. It's not a matter of if it was soft at the beginning, always go for the long run, because this thing has been perfect since a couple of days after I bought it when it broke in. So those are three of the best things. Let's talk about some of the less attractive subjects on this thing. First off, the stitching. This leather is pretty obviously fake. Like, it's, of course they're not going to use real leather for a chair like this at the price it is. So it is starting to wear down, especially where my legs go. Now, this isn't necessarily a problem in terms of it completely causes the drum throne to lose functionality. However, it is kind of ugly to look at when you're walking up to it, if you see it, if it catches your eye somehow. Now, it's not something I think about often, I promise. But it is something that kind of bothers me a little bit. I don't want the drum throne to tear up this much after a couple of years of use. And I haven't been using this thing softly. I throw the stand in my gig bag, I place the seat to where it fits right, and then I just make sure it's down when I zip the bag up. I throw the gig bag in my car, take it out, rip it out, set it up. I'm not treating this thing like it's an heirloom. So I understand why it's tearing up. However, you do kind of want the stitching to hold up in certain places. That way I know it's going to stay the right way for a long time. So there is that. Number two is that the bass is starting to tilt just a little bit. You can kind of feel it starting to move around just a touch. Not bad though. And all you have to do to fix it is tighten down the wing nut. However, when it does get loose and you can hear it squeaking, it does get annoying. And remember, this is me being extremely picky. Like, this thing is 100% solid, but if that wing nut loosens up, you will hear a slight squeak, and you will have to think about it and fix it. But that doesn't happen often. That's just one of the negatives I had to find. Now, the third bad thing is the lack of any sort of airflow through the seat. Again, being extremely picky right now. I keep a fan back behind me, especially in here since there's no real running AC in this room. Now, I don't mind sweat necessarily when I'm exercising, but I don't always like it when I'm playing drums. So, one problem with this seat is that because of the leather, because of the material, you likely will sweat sitting on this thing and playing hard. Now, if you're sitting here playing light jazz for a couple hours for a gig like I've done, it's not a problem. But if you are playing rock for 2-hour gigs or sessions or whatever, you're going to feel it at the end. Now, these 3 cons are me being as specific and picky as possible, and I know this. However, I thought it'd be something to bring to light, just to bring to your attention, and I would not be surprised if these were problems with literally every other drum throne that exists out on the market today. So keep that in mind. Overall, I would rate this drum throne, I don't know, 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, somewhere around there. It is a great throne. And here's the thing, you want to think about these things. Because as much as your drum head choices matter, and your drum choices matter, your cymbal choices matter, all that stuff is absolutely true. But don't ignore the stuff you use that you don't think about often. You want to have some decent mic stands, if you use mic stands. You want to have a decent stick bag. You want to have, that's actually right, so. You want to have some decent mic stands because they hold what you use. You want to have a decent stick bag because it holds what you use. You want to have a decent throne because it holds what you use. With all that being said, I definitely recommend the TAMA First Chair Drum Throne. This thing is amazing, worked with me for a long time, and I'm super excited because I know this thing is going to last me so much longer, and I do not have to worry about buying a drum throne anytime in the near future. So go out and get yourself one, and then once you get it, go practice. Subscribe, like, comment, all the fun stuff. But in the comments, be sure to tell me what drum throne you're using currently. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Please participate in this. Thank you so much again for watching. I'll see you in the next video.